Hi, Luna. I have missed having the animals join me in the morning here too. They love whenever the mat is actually like set up, and especially the female. I think she like knows she's on camera. I also just before we get started, reincorporating like this teaching into my morning routine is a lot different now with Colin. So I don't know if he's going to sleep. I don't know if my husband's going to wake up when he wakes up, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, he went to bed a bit late yesterday, so it kind of worked out. But we'll see, because I don't know. He usually wakes up around this time. All right. Well, you can start. You can actually start seated if that feels fine for you, and just kind of wiggle in. Take a moment to stretch out your spine, get out some of those like morning wiggles that just want to happen organically. And right away, we'll start to weave in awareness of the breath by breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Take a big stretch up to the sky. Everything from sits bones to fingertips are stretching and opening. That big audible breath here. You can circle out the wrists at the top or wiggle fingers, and all of these invitations to move are just that. So let your body start to explore on its own. If what I offer feels good, go for it. Add on, take away. And you can let your arms come back down to the sides, and we'll just take 5 sun breaths, so synchronizing our breath and movement. As you inhale, sweep your arms out wide and overhead, take the head up. Exhale, and the arms sweep down, nice and slow, steady breath, steady movement. And just like we stretch the body, we're going to look to stretch the breath a bit here. As you inhale, slowly stretch the breath and arms up. Exhale, nice and slow, back down and out. As you let those arms stretch out, I want you to think about them extending from the center of the chest, not just from the shoulders. Breathe in and up. And out and down. Let's just do 2 more of those at your own pace. Awesome. All right, let's take those arms up into a V shape. Hands start wide, and then I think we did this actually, I don't remember if we did this the other day. It's breath of fire if you've done that before. You're just going to like wrap your fingers into your palms and keep the thumbs sticking up. So the arms are engaged here, but we want to find kind of a nice relaxed dropped shoulder so we're not crunching into the neck, and we still have all of that space in the spine and on the back and even in the front of the chest. So notice if the arms want to kind of like come close together, if we can open that a bit. And stay aware of the physicalness of this as we start to incorporate the breath. As the arms start to become a bit fatigued, we can see maybe where you can soften, and also how to lean into some of that discomfort, staying calm in the breath and body, building that resilience through the breath. And of course, also taking conscious breaks as you need it. So let's begin taking a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. First round of breath of fire will be open mouth. So breathe in through the nose and then quick pulses out through the mouth like you're fogging up a mirror. Start to find your rhythm. So it's not hyperventilating, right? Like it kind of borders on that, and it is activating, but there's a rhythm that starts to come in with the pulse of the diaphragm. First round is shortest. Go for 3, 2, 1. Release. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Hold the breath in at the top. Open up the palms and bring the thumbs together. Hold, hold, hold. Make that space. Hold. Keep the sits bones grounded. Notice if the back arched as you breathed in so deep. And then exhale, release the arms down to your sides or to your lap. Take a cleansing breath here in this neutral position. We'll go for another round. Arms come up. Find your thumbs up. Fists position. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. This time we'll keep the mouth shut as we do Kapalabhati or breath of fire. So those quick pulses will come out through the nose, but it's the same rhythm, same activation as that first round. And so as you start to get into this rhythm, you'll feel your belly pulsing, pulsing, pulsing. Each exhale is the belly pressing in to shoot that air out with some power. It's meant to be cleansing, meant to be activating. Notice where you can relax in the body, maybe in the face and the shoulders and the hips. Find the areas that are resistant and keep breathing, keep going, breathing, lighting that fire. Every breath is like blowing on the embers. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in, deep, full, full, full. Bring the thumbs together, palms open, hold that breath in. See if you can sip in a bit more air. Relax shoulders, relax in that hold, and then long exhale, let the hands come down to your sides or to your lap. Turn the palms up this time, just staying really open in the body and mind and energy, and we'll take a cleansing breath, neutralizing here. We have one more round of this. This is going to be the longest round. Don't let it scare you in any way. You always meet yourself where you're at as well. So take your hands up, find the fist, thumbs up. Let's start with ease. Make sure to check in. No stress in the shoulders, space in the spine, relax face. Take a cleansing breath before we begin. 1 minute of Kapalabhati. Begin in through the nose and quick pulses out through the nose. If you've got the rhythm, you can play with the pace, going faster or slower. Doing great. 30 more seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deep breath in, thumbs together, palms open. Sip in a bit more air, as full as you can be. Hold, hold, hold. Softness in that hold. Strong and calm mind. And let it go. Take a few neutralizing breaths here as you rest, palms up in your lap. Just take a minute to observe. often an activating practice shows us more clearly how the body always wants to come back into a state of homeostasis. Balance in a way, but we don't often understand balance, I think, in the way that our bodies do. But our bodies understand a way that doesn't mean exactly equal, but means that everything is working in harmony. Mandy used that word, right? Harmony. Just notice what arises here. You might become aware of what is most top of mind today, just if there seems to be things that are surfacing more than others. And let's take a few equalizing breaths now, just about a count of 4 or 5 in and out. And these will both be in and out through the nose. Let's begin together, breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5. Inhale, 1, 5. Exhale, 5, 4. The next 2 on your own. So getting a better sense here of how the physical body feels this morning. Honoring the denseness of the form, and then giving it an opportunity this morning to make a little more space, give room for the breath and energy to flow as fully and harmoniously as it can. That's the beauty of stretching and yoga and movement, conscious movement, is it gives space for energy, space for blood, space for breath. And then as you get to the bottom of that, of your next breath, you can let your eyes open if they're closed still. And let's just start to move into a little movement right away, looping the shoulders back. And when you find a really good roll that feels like open-hearted and shoulders relaxed down, then you'll drop your chin to your chest. Inhale, right ear, right shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, left ear, left shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest, and then we'll find that flow and pattern, syncing it up with your pace of breath this morning. Inhale, ear to shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Of course, at any time, just like we started, if there's anything your body's asking for, listen to it, honor that, flow with that, no matter how different it is from what I've offered. Feel free to hold in any sticky spots and use the breath and stretch to help whatever is stuck there to move. And it is important to pause. So when you notice that stickiness, notice the tightness or tension, it's like every one of those moments is an opportunity to get quiet. You can see if you can start to pay attention to the sound of your breath, right? Noticing the subtlety of that sound to get even more quiet. And take a few more rolls if you'd like, or any last breaths here to complete this stretch. always noting if the body wants to come back to this later, let it do so, or just, making a mental note. Let's pay a bit more attention to this. Then you can bring your hands to your knees or thighs, and we're going to roll the spine back. So chin is still towards the chest and arching your back like a cat, stretching between shoulder blades. Then as you take your next breath in, slide the heart forward and chin up, a seated cat and cow. Exhale, chin to chest, press the spine back, belly button draws in. And then flowing that with your breath, inhale, heart forward, shoulders back, chin up. Exhale, round. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. So we're actually going to come back to this movement. You can keep moving through the cycle that you're on. And we're going to come back into that movement in a slightly different way. So coming out of your seat and moving into tabletop. Just find that alignment, general alignment here, not looking for perfect, but what feels most supportive in your body. Hands under shoulders, knees hip distance apart. And you can find some organic movement here. You might wag your tail or shake your head or just kind of wave the spine a bit. Spread the hands nice and wide. Grip your fingers into your mat. And then feel a bit of strength as you draw your belly button up towards your spine. So feeling a nice flat tabletop, as if you could rest a glass on your back steadily. And then the back of the neck is long and the tailbone's reaching down, so there's also length in the posture. See if you need to adjust where your hands or knees are at for this to feel really steady and strong and spacious. Hold here for a moment in that strength. Connect to your breath in and out through the nose. Feel the belly moving. And then we'll move into cow and cat again. So as you take your next breath in, lower the belly, look forward, heart comes forward. Exhale, belly button comes up to the spine. Press away from your mat. Inhale, look forward, cow. Exhale, rounded spine. And the invitation now is to play with the pace of this. So if the slow and steady still feels good, stay there for a moment. I want to invite you to go a little quicker, almost like that breath of fire pace, where your movement and breath just really starts to come together. It ignites this sort of heat and flame, so it can look and sound something like this. It might sound and feel even a little choppy at first, but you'll find your rhythm. You want the movements to be complete. For 3, 2, 1, come back to neutral spine, and then we'll find a child's pose to neutralize again. Head can be all the way down on, or you can have your hands underneath your forehead for more support. And getting quiet, just noticing the way that the breath moves when the body becomes still. And really, I don't even think that's the most accurate way to say that. Observing the way that the body moves when the mind becomes still. Okay, one more breath, preparing to come out of this posture. Complete the exhale, and then we're going to come to stand. So making your way there in a fancy way or not, it doesn't matter how you get to stand. We're actually going to come into a forward fold, so you don't even have to come all the way up. Feet can be as wide as they need to, knees bent as much as they need to be. And taking some movement side to side in the knees bending, hips shifting, and letting the head shake a little yes and no. You might hold on to opposite elbows and ragdoll. Yeah, perfect. Most importantly then, connect with your breath to really invite in that space. I use this word space a lot in this sort of practice. And that space that we're creating, not only does it let energy move better, it helps our bodies and flow, it helps us be healthier and things connect, but it gives us, if you can imagine, it gives us space in our day, in our lives, in our whatever we're doing. It gives us this like real space to step into something new. Right? If we've been stuck on something, it gives us room to kind of move around it in a different way, to look at it from different perspectives. It really physically, tangibly creates more room to work with something, to move into something. All right, now we'll come all the way to stand. So releasing elbows, bend the knees. You can either walk the hands up the legs, which gives more support for the back, or you can roll it up nice and slow. Let the blood start to rebalance. And as you come to stand, open up the arms, find like a mountain posture, just taking up some space here. We're going to move into that 5-element flow that we did in our workshop. What was that? 2 weeks ago now. And for these next few weeks, we're really going to focus more and more into that 5-element flow, into each of the elements individually, but also how they flow together. So today we're going to go through just one round. I think that's all we'll have time for. We'll do one round with the movement and breath, and I'll guide us through that again. And over the next few weeks, as we get more familiar, I'll be able to kind of like guide less, and we'll get more into our own breath and body. But we start in the water element. So you're just going to come down into a squat again. And you can hold onto the knees or just have your hands resting on the ground. The sound for water is like WHO. It's like you're blowing out a candle. And the motions that we're working with here are courage, fear, and courage. And so we don't really even need to have a story to tell here. We can just feel what emotions ping us the most and just take that as information. Just kind of get curious about what resonates with your body or being today, and also can just move through it as a whole to see what shifts. So noticing how you feel as you begin, and then let's take a big breath in through the nose, and you'll blow it out with that sound, with that big, like a big candle in front of you blowing out that flame. Let's do that again. Inhale, head down. Blow out and forward. This is moving into the unknown. One more time. Inhale. Courage to step forward even when you can't quite see the path. Water flows us into the wood element. Come into a forward fold again. Begin to weed your imaginary garden. The emotions with the wood element are anger,
balanced by assertive action. So letting anger move you into what's next. So we take up that junk, we make fists here. The sound is SH. As we inhale, bring your fists up and overhead, stand up. Exhale, throw it down, SH sound. Inhale, fists come up and overhead. Throw it down. Do that 3 more times. Last one, go slowly. Stay standing. That action moves us into the fire element and moves us into what we are passionate about, right? That anger put to good use really does turn into this passionate action, this even a joy in what we're doing, a joy in the transformation that's taking place. The challenge of that is that we can get really burnt out. And so we want to temper that flame. We want to ground it into our energy, into our hearts in particular, or into our solar plexus in particular. And so this is called bringing down the flame. We inhale, arms come overhead, all the fingers will touch. Exhale with an HA sound as you bring your thumbs down to the top of your head. Loop the arms out and around again, fingertips touch. This time thumbs come to the third eye or center of the forehead. Again, inhale up and around. This time thumbs come to the heart. Last time, arms up, inhale, HA sound as you exhale, thumbs down to the belly button. Now flatten the hands on your low belly. Take a couple more HA breaths as you really ground that flame into your abdomen. In Qigong, they talk about the 3 burners. And that initial burner, that initial spark is here in the lower belly. It's what we were igniting and starting to activate in the Kapalabhati. Good. Shake off the arms, shake off the legs. From here, we move into earth element, which is a really grounding, which you might imagine, grounding element. So we give ourselves a hug here. Wrap the hands around the ribs. And you just start to rock a little side to side. It's the same sort of rocking motion that you intuitively do with babies or children. It has a very soothing, nurturing effect. And the idea in the earth element, as we practice this for ourselves as adults, is that we give the love that we need to ourselves and remember that no matter what happens, we will always have our own backs. Like we always have this capacity for loving ourselves first. The sound that we have here is just an ujjayi breath or a humming breath. So either one, it's just a vibration that it's kind of quiet. It's like the hum of the earth. These different elements are associated with different energies, different functions, and they all have a yin and yang quality to it. So they have both that masculine and feminine qualities to it. The earth really leans into the yin qualities, the nurturing qualities. Those are the ones that help us not burn out. The last one is metal element, and we can open up the arms now by the side. The sound for this is S, like steam coming out of a kettle. The emotions here are grief, as we come to an end of a cycle, grief, and the antidote to that being the ability to let go. But what happens in that letting go is alchemizing all of what we've learned into wisdom. And so learning a lesson, taking what we leaning into that grief, taking a moment to pause at the end of a cycle to reflect and let ourselves move through a learning cycle so that we don't keep repeating. And these sounds and movements can help us open up to that experiencing grief and letting us then let it go. So we'll take a wide back bend. Inhale, low and wide, heart open, lungs open. Exhale, hug forward like you're hugging a tree with that S sound. The next breath comes to the height of the heart, arms open wide. Exhale, hugging forward, S sound. Last one comes overhead. This is like the biggest final letting go. You can invite in all of the wisdom, all of the guidance from the journey. Deep breath in. Exhale, S sound. Hands come over top of one another, sliding down onto the chest. It's not quite the heart. We're wider here onto the lungs. Take a couple more S breaths, hands over lungs. Lungs are the organ that hold the grief. The exhale helps us process and let go. As you feel complete with that breath, just let your hands come down to your sides, eyes closed or soft, and take a quiet minute to reflect, to notice, to just simply let your awareness be open, receptive. Connect with your body. Notice if the mind wanted to start moving. It's okay for the mind to move, but stay connected with your body. So if the mind is moving, maybe the body moves a little bit as well. Just noticing how you feel in your body as we start to move into the day today. You can open eyes if they were closed, and just for a moment here, let your body do whatever it needs to do to feel complete. So maybe that's like a wiggle, maybe it's like pounding the heels, which can be like really releasing for anything that's stuck. Maybe it's just some deep breaths. Maybe it's more silence. Bring your palms together, give them a nice rub, generating some heat in the palms. So let's bring back that fire again. Deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Shake off the hands and bring your hands over your forehead, eyes, and cheeks. Oh, hold on, sorry. Hi, honey. Come here. Come with me. Perfect timing. A perfect timing. Yeah. Sorry to run out on you like that, but he's still in our bed and like he doesn't always know how to get down on his own. I think I heard it at one point. I couldn't really tell what it was. I just heard some noise, but so they just come down in a fury. Yeah, hi, good morning. Oh, the skateboard, yes. Mark, how are you feeling?
So good. That was amazing. I don't ever do that for myself in the morning. This is like, what a great way to start the day.
I'm glad to hear that. Is there anything that you want to share that came up from the flow or breath work or anything that you noticed?
I usually practice, like my yoga is usually noon, and I definitely noticed like I was able to calm my brain a lot faster. I go to the gym in the morning, but it's like I don't know, gym is like a lot of stimulus. So this was like really calm. My to-do list didn't jump into my head at all. But I need to do that.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I'm sure you've heard it before, like the morning, what you think first thing in the morning and last thing at night. Like did you say, somebody was saying this recently. I think it was Jay Shetty really promotes this message. Like if you can control the messages, the mind first thing in the morning and last thing at night, it has like the most profound impact. So that's really awesome that you're able to have that space this morning. And I would be curious just for you to see how it ripples out into your day, you know, just staying open and see how you feel today.
I'll keep you posted.
Thank you for joining me here. Thank you for committing to this. You're doing awesome. And I hope you're having a great day.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll see you later.